This is Episode 1 from Series 1, Is Islam Good and Moral? The topic of this video is sex with slave allowed in Islam?
Does Islam allow a man to have sex with his female slave, which he has won in a war?
In order to know what Islam says on anything, we should always refer to Quran, and then Hadith. Does Allah, anywhere in the Quran, says that it is allowed to have sexual intercourse with a female slave? Well, according to the Quran, Chapter 4, Al-Nisa, the women, verse 24. And, also prohibited to you are all married women except those your right hands possess. The above verse means that one cannot have sex with a married woman, with one exception, that if you possess that woman with your right hand. Here the right hands possess means the woman slaves won in during battles. Now, one may argue that the meaning of right hand possess may be something different. Also, one may argue that this verse has been picked out of context. In order to better understand the meaning of a Quranic verse, one should always check the context. It means that one should consider under what situation this verse was revealed to Muhammad, peace be upon him. Below is the Sahih, that is, authentic Hadith. Sahih Muslim Hadith, Book 008, number 3432. Abu Sa'id al-Khudri, Allah may be pleased with him, reported that at the Battle of Hunayn Allah's Messenger, may peace be upon him, sent an army to Autas and encountered the enemy and fought with them. Having overcome them, and taken them captives, the companions of Allah's Messenger, may peace be upon him, seemed to refrain from having intercourse with captive women, because of their husbands being polytheists. Then Allah, Most High, sent down regarding that, and women already married, except those whom your right hands possess, that is, they were lawful for them when their iddah period came to an end. So, now it becomes clear, that right hand possession means slaves. And also, the context is correct, as Muhammad's companion were asking about, is it allowed to have sex with slave girl, even if they are married? But the question arises, how could this be justified? Is it ethical and morally correct to have sexual intercourse with a woman just because you have captured her in a battle? What was her fault? After searching through various Islamic and non-Islamic sources, over the internet, we have collected all the justifications which could find, to justifying this act. Here are the justifications for allowing sex with female slaves in Islam. 1. To put back those female captives back into the new state economy. 2. Motivation for Muslim soldiers, and reward for their participation in winning in war. 3. The slaves also have sexual urges. 4. The slave will get many benefits, if after having sex she bears child for master. 5. The master also have sexual urges. 6. In those times, it was normal practice to have sex with slaves and was followed by other nations too. Now, we will look into all the justifications, and also check for counter-arguments. To check and verify, if they justifies that sex with female slaves is ethical and just.
Justification 1. To put back those female captives back into the new state economy. After the battle, their husbands were either killed or missing. In those times, women were highly dependent on their husband for making their living. What will happen to these many women? Where will they go? Counter-argument. In order to put those female war captives back into the new economy, they could just work like house servants in the soldier's home. The master, soldier, will give them food, clothing and shelter, and in return they will work for them, without having anything to do with the sex. So a better alternative was available for the mentioned reason. Therefore, this justification does not justify. Justification 2. Motivation for soldiers and reward for their participation in winning in war. The Muslim soldiers have taken part in war, by putting their lives in danger. They deserve something for motivation. Counter-argument. The motivation for a soldier should not be a reward to get a slave with whom they can have sex. The real motivation should be like, defending the country and saving the beloved ones. The praises and fame to be received for the victory of war. Lastly, they could get a war booty in terms of wealth like gold coins, livestock like sheep and camels, instead of female slaves for sex. Justification 3. The slaves also have sexual urges. The women, who were captured were married, but now their husbands are either dead or missed. So they do not have a proper way to satisfy their sexual urges and may indulge in adultery. Counter-argument for justification 3. If slave captured as Jews or Chistrians, then master can marry her, as marrying women from first book were allowed. However, Muslim men marrying to a polytheist women is not allowed in Islam. So if the slave is polytheist, pagan, then the master can marry her to another polytheist slave. This is because slaves are allowed to marry to other slaves. Thus, a better way was available to satisfy sexual urges of slave. So this reason does not justify the situation. Justification 4. Islam provides many benefits to the slaves. If a slave female get pregnant with master child, then she will get following benefits. 1. Her status will change. 2. She will be free after her master's death. 3. Her child will be a free individual. 4. The cost of living of her child will be bare by the master. Counter-argument for justification 4. Well, if you ask any women in general, no woman will be ready to trade her dignity for making her living. None of the mentioned benefits can convince a woman to have a sex with a man, so that she can get pregnant to get these benefits. Additionally, these benefits are only available if she gets pregnant. So this justification does not justify the situation. Justification 5. The master also have sexual urges. The Muslim soldiers as a human also have sexual urges to satisfy. How could that be done? Counter-argument for justification 5. To satisfy master's own urges, and in order to prevent him from adultery, a master can marry another Muslim woman of their community. Master, as a Muslims, can marry up to 4 women, which should be enough. So this reason does not justify. Justification 6. In those times, it was a normal practice. It was a common practice to have sex with female slaves, and was followed by non-Muslims too, during those times. Counter-argument for justification 6. Having sex without marrying, even if that female is slave, is not correct morally in any period of time. Even if all other people were doing the wrong things at that time, it does not make that wrong thing right. The practice for statue worship was banned from day one, so why did not stop this practice in the beginning? Even during later stages of revelation, Islam does not restrict this practice, like it did with alcohol consumption. So this justification fails to justify the situation. Summary. After considering all the inputs, we currently reach to the below conclusions. 1. According to the sources, in Islam, it is allowed to have sex with female slave. 2. After considering all the justifications and counter-arguments, the sex with slave girl cannot be justified. Conclusion. At this point of time, by allowing master to have sex with female slaves, Islam does not seems to be moral and ethical. Therefore, in this case, Islam seems to be not passing test of morality. Your inputs. If we missed anything, or if you have any valid reasons to add, which have not covered in this video, then please do contact us or tell us in the comment, and we will discuss it and add it in another video. Goodbye for now. See you in our next video. Thank you for watching this video. Bye.